Welcome to Inspired by the Y. Join us as we uncover the incredible stories behind the Y's impact through candid conversations with community leaders, dedicated volunteers, passionate members, and inspiring associates. From the triumphs of the past to the bold visions of the future, we're here to celebrate how the Y empowers lives and strengthens the heart of our community. Get ready to be moved, motivated, and inspired by the movement that is the Franklin County Family YMCA. Today, we sit down with mother of six, vegan bodybuilder Nakisha Ramsey, who's been featured in Oxygen, Elux, and Veg World magazines, and we discuss how self-worth and simplicity are the cornerstones for achieving goals and staying inspired through every rep. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to Inspired by the Y.
Thank you.
And may the words that we speak reach the ears that they need.
Yes.
And inspire them to live a life of wellness.
Absolutely.
Amen, and so it is.
Yes, absolutely.
So thank you. First of all, I want to thank you, too. You're our first podcast.
Oh, wow. That is such an honor. No, that is such an honor.
Yes, well, thank you so much, and thank you. So please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Nakisha Ramsey. I've been a vegan bodybuilder now I've been vegan for 11 years. And I've been a bodybuilder since probably 2009. I've been a member of the Y since 2009. So I have a long history here. I'm in magazines, and fitness is my life.
Yes.
I love to inspire other women, especially to show them that there is life after babies. Yes, most definitely.
Yes. One of the things that we discussed that I was really excited about was your emphasis on simplicity.
Yes.
So that's kind of where I would like to jump in, because these days with all the social media and everybody saying, no, this is the way, this is the way, this is the way, it can be so overwhelming to even start to reach your goals.
Yeah.
So if you could talk just a little bit about how to keep it simple, where to start.
Okay, so when I started, I'm a mom of six. Okay, so in 2009, I literally had babies, and I had to figure out a way how to keep this simple, how to keep on target. And when I started, all I had was magazines, right? I didn't have anybody to help me. I had to learn. And the best thing I can teach women is make it so simple that you can do it every single day. There's nothing fancy about it. Do not believe the fancy programs. Keep it simple. Break it down. You're a mom, you're a dad, you're busy, you have life, you're working. It is so simple. You got to make the meal plan very simple, make it cheap, make it simple. But it's consistency. That is the most important part, because you're going to fail, but you're going to get back up.
Right.
Make it simple. Workouts don't have to be long, and you don't have to write everything down. You got to have fun with it. It's got to be something so simple that you will be consistent with.
Yeah.
Because people are busy.
Oh my gosh, so busy.
Yes, very.
So busy. And it's hard to carve out that time. What's your number one tip for making sure, because I know when we talked to you, you were like, you have to set time aside for that meal planning, for the workout. What's your number one tip on setting the time aside?
Okay, so look at your life. Now, the time that you might be sitting down watching TV or just sitting there doing nothing, because I can guarantee you have an hour where you're just scrolling social media. You've got an hour where you're doing absolutely nothing. Listen, go ahead, meal prep. But and here's the thing too, you got to make it really simple. You can meal prep for 3 or 4 days, have all your meals ready, put snacks in your purse, put snacks in your car. It's so incredibly simple. Not only that, but you have to make time for yourself. Because I think the number one priority that people forget, you might be a mom, you might be a dad, but being healthy and being fit is going to make everything else in your life so much better. Look, I wouldn't be able to chase 5 little boys if I wouldn't be. Yes, I got 5.
Yeah.
Yes, I have 5 boys and 1 girl.
Oh,
and
my goodness.
listen, being a single mom, you are not going to chase 5 boys if you're not healthy and fit. It will make you feel so much better. You have to put yourself first, and everybody can do it. Everybody.
It's so important, because I think when we do take on the mother role, and I'm a mother too, I have 1 daughter, she's 5. I think when you do take on that role, it has always been this expectation that you just have to give. And especially in 2020, I had, you know, a 1-year-old. And when everything kind of took the back seat, it made me realize, oh, wait, I do have to be my number one priority.
Yes.
Because if I'm not putting myself first, I'm pouring out of an empty cup.
Exactly.
And that just doesn't work.
No, because you have nothing to give.
Right.
Like, you're tired, you're frustrated, you're not happy. Because look, physical fitness is more than just your body, because it helps your mind stay healthy. It's mental health. You know, it is so, it makes you feel good about yourself. And anybody that feels good about themselves is going to improve in every aspect of their life. I mean, it's the truth. It is. I don't think people really understand. Like, physical fitness is not just something that, you know, it's not just on the outside, because when you are physically fit, it helps you mentally. Like, I come in the gym, and that is where I have my therapy, you know, like we lay it all down and you feel so much better. Therefore, you're a better parent. You work your job better. Everything is better with physical fitness.
Yes,
Everything.
it is absolutely not just about the vanity of wanting to look a certain way.
No, it's not.
It is so much deeper than that. And even starting by just taking walks. Like, I think people think when they come to the gym, they've got to have it all figured out, like the whole plan. What am I going to do? And it's intimidating because people don't know where to start. Thank you. So please.
A lot of women are intimidated by weights. They're not going to hurt you. They're not gonna make you big like a man, you know?
Right.
Everything is supposed to be simple and broken down simple. And that's the true steps to success.
Yes. So if you gave one, like the easiest meal prep that you know of, what would that be? What would that look like?
Okay, so the staples of this is where I would have to say this is how simple it can be. You have to consider eating at least maybe 4 to 5 times a day. Why? Because when you allow your body to consume small meals throughout the day, your metabolism stays fired up. So you're consistently burning body fat. You don't want to get to the point where you're starving, where you're hungry. You want to feed the engine to continue to run, right? Pick a protein. I'm talking about lean protein. I'm talking about chicken, fish, tuna. I would stay away from a lot of red meats. I would do veggies and I would do fruits. Those are your carbs, right? Put a protein and a carb together. Let that be a meal. So simple. You could do eggs. You could do egg whites for breakfast. Okay, let's just say breakfast. We do egg whites and we do oatmeal. We have our protein. We have our carb, right? And then throughout the day, we're eating chicken. We're eating veggies. We're eating fruits. We're always pairing that with a protein 4 or 5 times a day. So simple. So incredibly simple.
And just to tag on to that simplicity, I saw this the other day, and it was like, you know, we're in the age of AI now. So using ChatGPT to help you make those lists for even the grocery store that you visit and, you know, put in your budget and work it off that way. I think that would be a great suggestion for anybody who's just dabbling in, like, getting right into meal prep. Like,
exactly.
How do we do it?
Exactly. And another thing, people tend to not carry food with them. You don't carry water with you. If you really want to reach your goals, don't get caught without that stuff.
Right. Plan ahead. Just make it a priority, because I've even said that if I go out and I get hungry, I will make poor choices. I will.
Yes.
You know, go through a drive-through and my whole day is just like, you know.
Keep snacks in your car. Keep them. And, you know, you can even make like your own bag of like mixed nuts and like a granola. I mean, you can have fruit in your car. You can have veggies in your car. How bad do you want it?
Right.
You know, I mean, we're not talking about bodybuilding, you know, going like super far, but you still got to have a desire to really want to stick. Listen, it's your health. It's it's your self-worth. It's your self-love. Do you love yourself enough to say, I'm going to change?
And make the time for your wellness now before you have to make time for your sickness.
Absolutely.
Later.
Absolutely.
Because what you fuel your body with is so important.
Oh, yes. It will literally paves the path for the future, what you'll deal with or how good you'll feel. Yeah, most definitely.
So what inspired you to become a bodybuilder?
Well, so I was in an abusive relationship, and I think mentally, I was just, after my children, I was trying to find a way to cope with everything. And I started at home on my treadmill. reading magazines, Oxygen magazine, matter of fact. Learned everything from that. And I just looked at these girls in the magazine and I was inspired. I was inspired by how, they looked like they were mentally just healthy and physically. And I had, I think at the time, maybe like, 5. I'd had 5 babies. And everybody was like, you can't have a 6-pack after you have kids. And I'm like, well, I'm going to prove everybody wrong. So I started from my mental health, believe it or not. And it just progressed. I was breastfeeding babies on my treadmill.
Wow.
That's how dedicated I was.
Wow.
So that's where it began.
Wow. That's awesome. So how many shoots have you done I know did you have the recent one where we talked to?
Not yet. Not yet.
Wonderful.
So I've been in Oxygen magazine, which is literally, that was like such a blessing because that's where, I got all my information from. That's where I learned, right?
What an accomplishment.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank
That's
you.
huge.
Thank you. I got in that magazine, and then I done Elux magazine, which is from London. And then I also done Vegan World magazine. So yeah, we've done quite a bit.
Well, that is so inspiring.
Thank you.
Just to be able to reach those kinds of goals.
Yes.
And be so busy.
Yes.
Mom life isn't easy, friends.
It is not. No, it is not. It is absolutely not. But I can tell you one thing. I can tell you that what I've learned through this process, when I'm better, everything in my life is better, including the time that I have with my children. My boys are grown now, right? But they work out. They have seen this throughout the years, so they can't get away from it. What they see you do, they're going to mimic later.
Yes.
And so my boys are bodybuilders, they take fitness serious, they take eating healthy serious. It's something that will follow them for the rest of their life.
And that's so important.
Yes.
I recently read a book that's called The Biology of Belief. And so within this, Dr. Bruce Lipton, who is a cellular biologist, talks about from ages 0 to 7, we're literally just following what our parents do, who are around. In that, we become autopilot for that for the rest of our lives. And for the rest of our lives, we're on like 80% autopilot from the things that we learned and mimicked from age 0 to 7. So it's so important to show that healthy lifestyle and making it a priority, even above like, if it's choosing to a birthday, you wouldn't have to choose a birthday party, but like I don't have the bandwidth for that today. And being able to say, no, this is a priority. I think people have a really hard time with that too. Putting down the things that we get addicted to, like our cell phones and the TV and all that stuff, and just being able to think, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus on my health.
Yes, absolutely.
It's so important.
I think especially for women or like single dads, I think we also sometimes feel guilty because we are putting ourselves first. But, I think there was times where I had to deal with that and learn how to say, hey, no, I had to get past that part. And what I can tell you, because I've lived this life for such a long time, is that as a mom, you feel guilty because, hey, you could be spending time with your kids. Put them in it too. My weight room at home when I first started, I had all my children in there. And they were running, they were dancing. They might not be working out, but they were still active. And as a mom or dad, whatever you do to better yourself will impact your children more so than anything. Be the example, because the world will lead them in ways.
That is so beautiful.
Yes.
That is so beautiful. And, the Y offers a lot of that youth programming to just get kids out and active. Homeschool PE, swim lessons, basketball. Just a whole plethora of stuff for kids to be active and learn that healthy lifestyle. And being the example, I think, is absolutely key.
Yeah, I think that was a big thing too when I found the YMCA, because I started at home working out with my children, but then I found the Y, and you guys had a wonderful program for the little babies. So there was, my children were here every evening in the nursery, and as moms and dads, you have to have that. And it was a good break for me mentally, and it was a time for me to work on my mental health and physically. I remember like literally, like I had 5 babies, like filling up the nursery with just my kids.
Yeah, I think there's a limit of 8. So.
Yeah, so like, you know, every evening I got here right when you guys opened, and it was already almost full. But they enjoyed it too, you know, and it gave them a break from their day.
Yeah.
And I think as parents, I think it's important to find that, because you do need a little bit of support, you know.
Yes, and not only does that give you the time you need to prioritize that lifestyle and get a little mental health break, because let's be honest, we all need it.
Yes.
But it also socializes the children too.
Exactly.
I mean, it's such a good way to get kids out and playing together, making friends, and it develops character.
Absolutely, it does.
In a big way.
Absolutely.
Have you faced any challenges that you've had to come up with creative ways to overcome them? I mean, obviously, having 6 children, that's a big challenge. Any other things that come to mind that you felt like you've had to overcome in your fitness and wellness and mental health journey?
Yeah, I think, you know, a big thing for me was getting past what people think. I think as, you know, as you journey and you start making time for yourself, you have to get past of the opinions of other people.
Preach it.
You have to get past that. You've got to be able to shake it off and keep moving, because you do not have time to ponder on other people's opinions. And that was something, being a single mom and having 6 children, I had to get past quickly, because if I would have allowed that to continue, I would have stopped years ago. But I'm still here, because I do not care about the opinions of people. What I care about is how I feel, how my children perceive me, because I want to be the biggest example for them. And what better ways to be strong?
Oh, that is such a beautiful testament.
Thank you.
And it's something that I found when I started my spiritual journey. Was this practice of radical non-judgment. And it's something that I carry with me every single day. I really try to allow life to happen to me without judging whether it's good or bad, right or wrong, before it comes into my reality, right? Because that judgment causes separation.
That's right.
And really, we're all connected so deeply. And another thing that I heard, especially about the opinions of others, is that it's none of my business.
Right.
It's really none of my business.
No.
As long as I'm making myself proud and doing the things that fill me up, it is none of my business what other people think about me. And it's not my job to change or people please to make other people feel comfortable you know, with who I am.
Right.
And I think that's such a journey, because as you come through that and you change, I mean, change is deeply scary, because you let go of the belief systems that not only you have about yourself, but other people.
Exactly.
And that can be really intimidating.
Yes, it definitely can.
Yeah.
And let's be honest. You know, a lot of times we look in the mirror and we judge ourselves.
Oh, yes.
Right? So we do enough of that for ourselves. So I think there comes a point, especially for women, that we have to say, you know what, I know who I am and I'm happy with who I am. You know, I'm going to continue to better myself because I deserve it. It does not matter listen, people are going to talk about you. They're going to look at you. They're not going to like you. That's what this is. That's just the truth. You know, women get very intimidated about the weight room. Get in the weight room. Who cares what everybody thinks? If I would have cared, I would have stopped. But it has taken me on a journey in this life because I did not stop. And I learned this very quickly, you know, just to cast off the opinions of other people. And there's nothing about this that I regret at all. Nothing.
Oh,
nothing at all.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. I'm glad you mentioned that, because it's so true.
Yes.
That when we wake up, either you're not even going to look at yourself in the mirror because you don't want to.
Exactly.
Or when you do, you're just talking, you know, talking down on yourself.
Yes.
And self-talk is, we got to be our own best friends.
Exactly.
We got to love ourselves so deeply that no matter who you face out in the world, you're like, I love me. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. Oh, that's such a beautiful testimony.
And it happens to everybody.
Oh my
you know,
gosh. Well,
to
we all
everybody.
have something.
Exactly.
We all have
Exactly.
something where we think we could have done better or feel guilty or feel shameful.
Yes.
There's going to be some, and you have to forgive yourself.
Absolutely.
And love yourself.
Yes.
Really
Most
deeply
definitely.
love yourself.
Most definitely.
I have a story about love that I'd like to share with you. I didn't think I was going to get this vulnerable today, but I'm glad we are. Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I lost my mother in 2018.
Okay.
And I was with her at her bedside, the last week when she was in hospice. And I had the beautiful gift of telling her, that I would be okay and that I loved her. And it was such a deep, moving experience for me. And it was like, it doubled our connection, in a way. And then the next morning she passed, and I had this overwhelming, just heart expansion, and she relayed to me, it is about unconditional love.
Absolutely.
We cannot call it love if we put conditions on it,
Right.
So if we're saying, well, you have to act or be or do this certain thing, that's conditional love.
Absolutely.
And she said, you have to do it for you first.
Yes.
You have to do it for you first, because you
Yes.
can only love people as deeply as you love yourself.
Absolutely.
So that was really the beginning of my spiritual path.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it was. I've learned, so much since that, and I feel like we are even closer now.
Absolutely.
In spirit, than we were even when she was here.
That is amazing.
Yeah. So, loving yourself is just the number one priority.
It definitely is.
And I think even before meal prep, do love yourself.
Yes.
Give yourself a high five in the mirror, like, man, I woke up this morning. Here we go.
Exactly.
Here we go.
Exactly.
Let's do it. What's going to make me feel good today?
Exactly. And, these little things, just by simply starting with your water intake, these things are loving yourself. But these things it's not a selfish love, but yet it kind of is, because, you're doing it for you, like you got to be a little bit selfish.
Absolutely.
For yourself, for your mental health. And it's okay. Like you wanted to scream it at the moms. Listen to me. It's okay.
Yes.
It's okay to be a little selfish with wanting more and better for yourself. It's okay.
Yes. And I think over the years, I've had to make hard decisions about my life.
Of course.
And I've always come down to, how do I want my daughter to prioritize herself and her life?
Exactly.
How do I want her to prioritize it? Would I want her to make sure everybody else was happy before? No.
Right.
I want her to prioritize herself. And I am her example for setting those boundaries, saying no, and taking care of yourself deeply before you go out into the world. And that way you can be the light, when you walk out into the world.
Yes.
Well, we so appreciate you being a part of the Y community. Yes. And is there any other words of inspiration that you'd like for people to hear today? Anything else that
I would say just get going. Just start. Love yourself enough to start, and make it simple. Nothing about this is supposed to be complicated. Yeah. That's it.
Thank you so much.
You are very welcome,
Nakisha. This has been wonderful.
You're absolutely welcome.
And maybe we can do it again.
Oh, I'm ready whenever you are.
Okay. And if you'd like to leave your Instagram handle, if you want to tell people how to find you.
Okay, yeah. I'm on the gram as Nakisha's Gram. And of course, I'm always here at the Y if anybody needs any help or advice.
I might get a workout with you sometime.
Hey, come work out with me. I will help you. Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thanks for tuning into this video. Make sure you hit subscribe and follow us on all of our platforms. If you have an inspiring story, leave a comment and we'll reach out.